what's up? What's going on, my friends? It is, well, the microphone is working. Yep, that's good. That's good. I've been recording different stuff, so got to make sure it's all proper. So that looks fine. Livestream looks fine. I'll grab the Livestream link. There it is. Share that in the Discord. And then we are good to go. All right, there we go. All good. That's all done. Switch it over to the live chat, and we'll have done all the initial steps to make the live stream work. Perfect. Now I get to have some root beer. Ah, delicious. All right, so what's up, David J, 90, Fisher, Sandro, Eng, Parise, Yamagoro, Gerthulu, Callaway, Kenzuki, some call me Tim. What's going on, people of the night? Oh, that made me think of Phantom of the Opera and the music of the night. Listen to the music of the night? Yeah. I saw that stuff. I saw the Phantom of the Opera when I was in junior high. What up, Millmaster? You been playing them didgeridudes? How you doing? How you doing, buddy? Callaway shouting. I'm not shouting. Turn down the volume. Turn down the volume. I'm just being my normal level. What the fuck do you want? Fuck off, buddy. You want to go out and drink? Then that's what you get. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Enjoy that. That's on you. Ready to see the rest of the A and B commanders? I'm curious to see what's coming. Definitely. Just shout louder. Make up your mind. You're inconsistent. You are inconsistent. So, it's Wednesday, right? Yeah. And I am waxing hardcore nostalgic. I'm working on a video. Well, I'm working on a bunch of different videos, but I'm working on a video right now in particular that got me thinking about looking for ways to exploit video game systems and game systems overall, right? So I started to think back to the BBS days. That's what the stream name and the thumbnail and everything is about, the BBS days. So if you're not a dinosaur like me, you might not know what BBSs are. But it's like the internet, but if the internet was just one guy's house and maybe like 4 or 5 people at most could be on the internet at once. Like, it's like you had to call some guy's house to go on his little mini Garbo internet. But they had games you could play, right? Like text-based games and stuff. And I got right into them. I wish to know if BBS games are still available. Like, is there a website you can go to that somebody set up where you can play these or any of that? Because I would love to play particular games again. I remember some quite distinctly. I remember playing a game called Trade Wars, which is a science fiction game. What up, Esoteric? It's a science fiction game, which isn't normally my thing that much. I had buddies, what am I trying to say here? No, I had nobody playing it with me. So when I started the game, there was already a bunch of people who were playing. They were well established. The universe was carved up into different chunks. There was some free space, but like there was a lot of established people and it was difficult to do anything. So I just ended up hiring myself out. I was like, wait, I'm like, I respawn like every couple days if I die. Why don't I just like go on sacrificial runs? And so I did that, right? Basically, people could hire me and I would fly into enemy space and locate their base area and then just get myself blown up so they'd lose a bunch of troops in the process. Basically, people would hire me to go on these runs to weaken their enemies. And so they kept paying me to do that, and I would just fly my little initial space shuttle into people's sectors. Like whenever you respawn, it's like you'd have your crappy little escape pod, whatever it was. I would just fly that out there and keep getting myself blown up until I eventually had enough money that I was able to buy my own planet and a gigantic battleship. And so at that point, that's when things changed. I got a few more payments from people going, hey, go to this quadrant and destroy whoever. And I'm like, sweet, thanks for the money. And then I never went. And then after a few angry messages of, yo, you took my money. Where are you? Like, why don't you give me my money back or do what you're supposed to or I'm going to destroy you? And I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I'll give you your money back. Come meet me at these coordinates. And they come to the coordinates and that's where my planet is with literally like interplanetary defense systems where it's like I've got the actual defenses on the planet that will blast you, but also there's tons of troops up in the sky and it's like, what did you think I was doing with all the money you gave me? Buying bubblegum? No, son. I was playing in my own empire. So yeah, I carved out my own part of space out of that money, and then nobody could come into my turf because I was beefy enough. And it's like, no, I'm one of the big boys. Tim Calloway says, draw my head exploding. All right. I will. Now, I know we've been over this whole, like, don't try and get me to draw stuff on the board, and we're not going to make a habit of it. And, I mean, I think that, hold on. Because I said that I'm going to do it, right? So, there you go. We got that on the board, and then... All right, there you go. I drew your head exploding. Thanks for the super chat. Wait, Millmaster, what? Some BBSs are still up after 40 years? You can actually literally call into them? What? That's cool, man. That's cool. I don't want to have to call somebody's house, though. I don't need the full experience. I just, like, want to play some of these games again. So if I can just find... I mean, if they've got the games running, I guess maybe it'd be fun to play with others. I don't know. I have, like, a nostalgia itch that I wish to scratch. So I played, like, Trade Wars. That had nothing to do with the kid stuff. That was just one of the fun memories that I had. All the sacrificial children came from Land of the... What is it? Legend of the Red Dragon? Land of the Red Dragon? Something like that. What up, Florida? How you doing, buddy? Ryan, did your fraud mitigation come through? It did. I popped by the game store, and it turned into these two. I stopped by the LGS, and the money you sent to the PayPal turned into these two Brothers War set boosters, and I just so happen to have the list of cards that I'm missing, so what do you guys think? Should we open these packs and see if I got some cards for my set here, or what? So there's like one called Land of Devastation that I'd like to play again, but Legend of the Red Dragon was the one that I broke, where the base concept of it is there's a red dragon that is like an overlord kind of, I am in charge of this forest and everyone, and I'm the big baddie, and you need to like slay this dragon. But to do so, you have to level up, right? You got to get to level 12, and once you get to level 12, then you can fight the red dragon. And you level up by fighting creatures in the forest. You can also fight other players in the game to level up. But it's a slow progression. And once you fight the red dragon, you reset to level 1. And you have to slay the red dragon 10 times to actually be declared like the winner. And it never happened. Like I never saw anybody do it until I did it through pure absolute cheese baggery. Like absolutely, like technically it worked, but it's not what I would call like a legitimate win. It's a technical win 100, but a legitimate win Hasdar the Abbot and Sacrifice. Ryan, did I decide not to collect the Foil Brothers War? Yes, I've opted out of collecting the Foils Brothers War because all of the foils, or at least almost all of the foils have little chips and stuff along the edges, and they're visible. Like when I put them in sleeves and put them in the binder, I can see the banged up edges. And I don't want to collect banged up cards, and I don't want to reward wizards for lazy garbage by actively going, well, I guess I'll just search through the foils until I can find a really good one. So I have just elected to just go with a regular set. That's what it's turned into. The foil one is not. Wizards isn't making foils of a quality level that deserves collecting. You know what I mean? It's like they're going to be more frustrating to look at. So the Legend of the Red Dragon thing is a situation where you go up to level 12, you reset, you do it over and over. But I mean, when I was playing it, you'd see somebody maybe make it all the way over the hump like every couple months. Like it was slow going, very, very slow going. People rarely killed the dragon, but I found out you could kill the dragon once a day because I got a powerful enough setup where I was able to start from level 1 and kill the red dragon every single day. So there was like the basic version of the game, and then there were modded versions, games that had, like, there was add-ons that you could add into it, and one of the add-ons let you buy and sell anything. And so that became very, very abusable. You could sell your experience points, which just seemed absurd to me. So I leveraged that by selling all my experience after I leveled up, because you don't lose your level ups, so it doesn't matter. You gained the benefit from the experience. You do need to get that experience back to get further along, but irrelevant. And then I spent all that money buying children. Now, the reason that I did this is because I found out that the way that the game normally works is the only way you get kids in Legend of the Red Dragon is if you hook up with this tavern wench chick, and then she gives birth to a kid, and then you have that kid, and the kid is irrelevant except for one thing. There's only one time having the child ever comes up, and that is whenever you're about to be struck a death blow, whenever your opponent is about to kill you, there is a small chance your child will jump in the way, like, Father, no, and sacrifice themselves to save you, right? Not only that, but when the child sacrifices themselves, it pushes you into a revenge frenzy where you're like, Billy, no! And then you go ham on whatever it was that just killed your kid, and you cut its hit points in half. So the thing is, apparently the way the game was programmed is the more children you have, the higher the likelihood is that one of them will jump in the way to take the hit. And so I leveled up, sold my experience, and then used the money from the experience to buy hundreds upon hundreds of children. And then I would go into the fields and pick fights with, like, proceeding up the chain. Like, I'm level 1. I'll pick a fight with a level 3 guy, level 4, level 5. And not because I was just trying to gain, like, the most experience and chunk up. But I would literally go and slaughter everybody in the field by, I'm the weakest guy there, but here's how it works. I walk up and I'm like, yo, I don't like your face. Let's fight. And they're like, what? All right, fine. And then they take a swing. And first swing they take at me, one of my kids jumps in the way. Daddy, no! And he dies. And I'm like, oh, Billy! And I beat that guy down to half health. And then he goes, what? Fuck! And he goes to hit me again. And another one of my kids jumps. Oh, Daddy, no! And he jumps and he kills that kid and that kid's corpse. I'm like, no, Billy, too! And I start wailing on the guy and he loses half his hit points again. Now he's down to 25% of his health, right? So then he goes to swing at me again. What happens? You got it. One of my kids goes, Papa, no! And he jumps in the way and he takes it and dies. Oh, frenzy rage. Bam! Now he's down to 12.5% of his hit points. 6%. 3%. You know what I mean? So it's basically, how many of my children do you have to kill before I kill you? Because I can only do 1 damage a hit. But eventually, I am going to mathematically fraction you down to 1 hit point. And that one hit point is inevitable. I am inevitable! And so I slaughtered every single person in the field. Everybody playing the game died. Every monster in the field died. I threw hundreds of children into the maws of the dragon. Because, like, bro, after I start killing these guys in the field, I get more experience. I go and sell that experience on the black market. I buy hundreds of more children. I'm like, come with me to the forest. You will save your papa. And, like, literally every time I'm attacked, a child dies. Every single time. But it doesn't matter. Because I'm on an inexorable path to victory. I make it all the way out. I slaughter the dragon at the top. And then the next day, I just rinse and repeat. I tried to kill the red dragon 10 times in the same day, but the game won't let you. And people were like wigging out. They're like they're leaving messages going, what's going on? What's going on? How is this happening? Is somebody cheating? It's like, no, there's no cheating going on. And it's like, ha, ha, ha. So 10 days in a row, I did that and found out that after 10 days of doing it, after 10 wins of the dragon, it ends the game forever and puts your name up as the ultra winner. So it's like, my name was the winner. And I was just like, man, that's amazing. And ultimately, I ruined the fun of a bunch of people now that I think back on it. Like, it's like, hey, what's up? I know you've been playing this game for a long time. Maybe you've even made it a couple of times through the dragon. But guess what? I found an exploit and I'm about to break this game. And so that's what I did. And it worked out really well. Lots and lots of kids had to die, but ultimately, I'm willing to let lots of children die to accomplish my goals, right? $90, you gotta do what you gotta do, buddy, right? So that was funny to me. That whole sacrificial, like, wait a minute, I can just constantly it originally. At the black market, I was selling my experience and buying strength and stuff like that and trying to find other ways to become more powerful, upgrade my gear. But once I realized that mathematically, I'm like, wait, I can just buy human shields that also cut 50% off my opponent every time? This is broken. I just bought them thinking there'd be a small chance. And then it was just game on when I realized it was full tilt. Oh, just throwing them kids into the wood chipper. I forgot I was talking about these. I got sidetracked again. Pyre. Oh, man. It's like, it's been forever, but I would really love to play those old BBS games again. Like, I would love it if there was just some kind of a little, like, program somebody had thrown together that you can run, that lets you run your own BBS games, or go and play on a website that lets you play them. I'm fiending for old BBS action. Nostalgia itches are being scratched, and it's making a big deal for me. Like, I played the old pinball game for Nintendo, and bro, it felt awesome. Reaper, you know, bulletin board system? It got to be old like me to know, dude. BBS's. When you call a dude's house. There's probably some people who have set something up, aside from the one that Millmaster mentioned, where it's straight up, yo, call in, bro. I don't want to call in. I don't want to do that. But I do want to find out what's in these boosters. All right. Starting out with the art card, we've got this guy, and I already have him, and he looks goofy, so that's kind of disappointing. All right, what do we got? They still got some Japanese boosters left over at the shop, so we got Urza's Command. I'm like 99% sure I've already got this for the set. This is card number 70. Yeah. Oh yeah, the old bordered card was a liquid metal coating. I didn't even bother stopping on that because it doesn't matter. A foil Sky Fisher Spider, and one of these. Yeah, the picking up the modem and stuff. Hang up the phone. All that stuff. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. What up, Cinder? What's going on, Roughneck? Chrono. You like the command cards from bro? Yeah, they look good, dude. The artwork's solid. Fulgor, how's it going? How you doing? All right, in this one we've got... Hey, it's an art card that I don't have. I don't have this one for my collection, and it's the gold stamped one. Nice. There we go. That's a score. That's a score. Good job, Ryan. We got a foil planes. And what do we got? Oh, an adaptive automaton sketch version. This is another one that I don't have for my set. Yes. Oh shit, I think I don't have this one either. Razor Lash Transmogran. I think I'm actually missing this dude too. He is 122. Yeah, bro. Bro, that was great. And a foil Weakstone Subjugation. That's awesome. Both the old border card, the rare, and also the art card. So all three are all needed cards. That's sick, man. That's sick. All right. Let me get some sleeves to pop these into. How many baud was the modem? We started out with, what did we have? Was it a 2400? I remember having a 2400, and then was it like 12.8? 12 something? I know I was like jonesing for a 56er. You know, like, oh, 56er. Oh, I feel like a dinosaur, man. I feel like a dinosaur, baby. What up, Bino? How many left to go? Good question. What up, Jason? How you doing, buddy? Oh, I should put the art card in a sleeve too, right? Dick Forest. Oh, I mean Esoteric Forest. I'm so used to your old name. Oh, Lord of the Board action. All right, bro. You Lord of the Board. The currency 386. That can't be right. No, that you three. If you're getting that kind of a conversion rate, that's crazy. That doesn't sound right. There's like there is a big wait, I see what you're saying. Never mind. I follow you now. I follow you. There is a massive difference between our currencies, which works out really well considering most of my audience is American and YouTube's American, so they pay in American dollars, which means I get the fat what's it called? Exchange rate bonus. I like that. That's delicious. That's delicious. All right, so that's like what? Callaway. Now between Callaway and Soundwave, we've got, hold on, what was it? We've got 18 towards the secret $50 goal of what's hiding inside the couch. I didn't tell you guys this because I always forget everything. But and we almost blew past it, probably without me mentioning, because that happens all the time. But we're playing a secret. What's hidden inside the chair? It's not a couch. I don't know why I said couch. Well, I know why I said couch, but this is what's hidden in the chair. It's the secret that will be uncovered. We're at 18 out of 50 to discover what's in the. Is it a ghost? What's in the chair? Well, anyways, I'll put that down there and promptly forget about it. All right. So let's cross these cards Off the list. It's a perp chair. That's right, James P. Super duper. I don't know, man. I'll put my nose real close and we'll find out. All right, let's see here. So this was... Oh, I should have noted it down before I put it in the sleeve. 46. Okay, so that's 46. 46 off the list. So in terms of art cards, I need 5, 10, 14, 19, 21. 21 art cards to finish off the art cards. And for the non-old bordered, like the regular set that is non-old bordered, 122. Let's see, how many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 21 as well. That's crazy. Callaway says, tear into that chair. Screw secret layers. Bring on the secret chairs. I'm going to go wash me hair. All right. What did I say? Oh, yeah. It was 50, 18, 28 plus 5, 33. All right. We're at 33. I should write this down because I'll forget it. And then later I'll look at the number and be like, what does that mean? 33 out of an arbitrarily made up 50 what's inside the chair number. Okay. What's inside the chair? Will you even care? Bum, 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 bum. Enjoy those L's that look like C's, Tim Keckaway. And then for the, the old border. Can't forget to put the sketch. Can't forget to put the sketch version of the old border. So for the old bordered, I think I'm missing way more than 21. If my count is right, 47. So 47 and 42, I'm missing like 89 cards in total between the art cards, the old bordered, and the original stuff to fill out the set. That's all it takes. Millmaster, what are you talking about? Oh, never mind. I see it now. I just caught up to you guys' insanity in the chat. You don't even need me for ridiculousness. I'll just let you guys do it. I'll just look at my phone for a while. I'm gonna go look at my own Instagram for a bit. Hey, look, there's Jace holding some bagel bites. If you didn't know, I got an Instagram, and on the Instagram I share pictures of stuff. Like my Phyrexian bacon. There's a nice one of me and Carly. There's when I met Matt Caster, and we did back in November. That was fun. Get a nice look at that. Anyways. Thank Tectonic for that craziness. That's right, Reaper. Phyrexian bacon, bro. It was good. It was good. Chrono, nice. That's awesome. It's sweet that you got sent those art cards, buddy. So yeah, the BBS stuff, the Legend of the Red Dragon stuff, that's all born from the whole looking to exploit like advantages in games and getting the best results. Because there's a video I'm working on that actually ties into conceptually. Man, this Ridgewell's pretty cool. I'm happy that I got the sponsorship. This thing's neat. Tiny. forgot about that dumb chair stuff. Jason, do I know how to play Spellfire? I played it once upon a time, right? And my memory of it is vague. My brain goes, Spellfire was a bunch of awesome D&D stuff, right? Had all the right flavor of a bunch of stuff from D&D. But you had like different terrain cards that represented provinces or something like that. And then you had like a power creep issue where the game essentially has giant growths. And the giant growths don't cost any mana, but they're progressively bigger. So I remember like +7s, +9s, +11s. It felt like power creep like kicked that game in the dick so fast where you had to get every new set, and it just like it outpaced me as a kid so fast that we just bailed on it. So I don't know how much of the I don't know how much of my memories are accurate to the game. Do you know what I mean? Silver says, sorry I'm late. What did I miss? What's up with the 1,000 sacrifices? The only 1,000 sacrifices I recognize is the souls donated to support the one and only God Emperor of mankind. Well, you know what? You know what, Sophorus? I'll tell you what you missed, buddy. You missed the mystery chair. But don't worry, because you've helped contribute to the... We're going to find out what's in the mystery chair when we get to 50. And you just took us up to 48. So... you didn't miss that much in that regard. And the 1,000 are the children that had to die for my glory. And they were sacrificed, and it was well worth it. I regret nothing. I have no regrets. So I finished recording the 8th lore video today. I'm glad that's done. I got 2 more to do before we're done with March of the Machine stuff, and I got other items on my plate. I really want to get a video talking about my first thoughts about sorcery. I like how vibrant it is, all that. So I got it right up here on the top. I want to do something on that. Am I the emperor? I mean, obviously. You even have to ask? You even have to ask? James P. in a row? You know what, man? I'll be real with you. Sacrificing 1,000 souls a day to keep me alive to read Magic the Gathering lore? Just pull the plug, man. Pull the plug. Let the void consume all. I don't want to be... Not if this is what it's gonna be always. No. What up, Anja? How you doing? I mean, the magic lore, some of these stories are good. This next one is okay. It's got some cool moments. Some cool rah 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 moments, but like when I was reading it, I was like, and when I had to like, I kept making excuses to not go back and finish this particular part of the lore. You know, it was just like, oh, I'm not enjoying this. This doesn't feel great. But that's because the good stuff happens at the end, and I hadn't gotten there. So yesterday I wrote all the notes for the sloggy part of the video and then got to the part. And I'm like, okay, this part's cool at least. I wish they would put like more into their writing. Because it just feels silly. Why do you send like 5 students down into Strixhaven to get the most important spell? And like, Quintoria, I gotta cast the spell. We gotta cast it right now. It's like, why? Because the Phyrexian invasion is ongoing and nothing will be different 5 minutes from now. Absolutely nothing. We could just go get another student and do this ritual right, but instead I'm just gonna feed my life force into it so we can have this moment. Things don't have to make sense. They just have to happen. That's what Magic Story feels like, you know? Silver says for the chair. All right. Get ready. Get ready. We've hit the chair threshold. Deploying now. Ba-bam. Who predicted that it would be a dead Tom from Tom and Jerry? None of you. Nobody was thinking, I bet there's a dead Tom inside the chair. Right? There you go. He died. It's weird. We've had like 6 main chapters now. Oh, that might just be me throwing you off, bro. I'm going to let you in on a little secret about my lore videos. I just, whatever order they put them out in, I just call them that part. So like my videos are just labeled March of the Machine story 1 to 10. But if you go by wizard stuff, they go like main story, side story. And I just go, okay, it doesn't feel like there's much of a difference between any of it, but that's fine, whatever. So the main story's already done, I guess, and the next ones are all side stories. So it may feel like that. The way they dice stuff up feels very arbitrary and weird. Like the Brothers War main story was about Kayla after the Brothers War, and then the side story covered actually progressing the story of Teferi doing time stuff somewhat, but then it was wrapped up like it's all just messed and googled up, right? So there's elements I like to the magic lore, but the writing is just, it's difficult to get through sometimes. That's all. That's all. What up, Nicholas? Popping in to say thanks for the gifted membership. Well, your thanks belongs to either Millmaster, Nathan, James P., or possibly a few other people. There's been a lot of membership slap-a-dapping, so I can't actually say specifically who it was, but they feel your thanks in the universe. Bran, at least the orphanages will be happy. I mean, I guess the kids were paid for, so. Yeah, Chrono, exactly. It doesn't feel like there's like they're tied together loosely. I don't know what the deal is half the time, and I mean, what do you expect from people who don't have character consistency even? So they're gonna have, well, this is the main story. They don't care. Here's your chunks, whatever. So I just name them all 1 to 10. That's fine. Like, if you think anything more is going to happen in the main storyline after Ren gets slapped on the tree, it doesn't. But we're going to get a Ren and Realmbreaker card in Phyrexia. We'll get it. We'll get it in March of the Machines, even though we don't actually see it happen in the story. And the story just ends there. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe this is different because they're doing March of the Machines Aftermath, and we'll have to see how that pans out. But yeah, the story stuff is just, I feel like I'm digging in a garbage dump for some like chunks of goodness. So they it's like glossing over everything and just like doing nonsensical stuff. Like, you want to show the world's under siege, at least with the Huatli story that we're gonna deal with, there isn't just like insane nonsense where it's like Liliana doesn't go and get the invocation. And it's like, Liliana knows about the invocation, she should go get the invocation. She knows about its existence. She could find it fastest because she's the most formidable. But they say you can't because she's busy using her undead hordes to hold people back. But she's like, not. And then later she summons up the undead hordes and the students are like, ah, ooga booga. And you're just like, what is going on? What is going on? Jason, you think it's going to be called World Breaker and 1? Well, the number is the tree, right? Like, so it's got to be Ren and something. Especially since I'm pretty sure Rosewater put in the teasers, it's Ren and something. So it has to be that, right? Lore seemed legit in 2004. The older lore, they wrote entire novels. They hired authors who wrote entire stories with characters who had flaws, who grew and changed. Like Liliana has changed, but it doesn't feel earned. It doesn't feel like it actually occurred. It feels like Wizards just went, all right, our current marketing strategy requires Liliana to be a good person. So we're going to go, the Raven Man is responsible for every bad thing she's done. She is now morally pure, and she's just a good healer lady. But also, she'll still totally use the corpses of the dead like it's nothing. And it's like, okay, all right, you've made her incredibly boring. This isn't a great transformation. It isn't earned. She's not compelling. Now it's like, so you're just going to have like, everybody's good and everybody just works together and... okay, sure, whatever, fine. Great. No, but they don't get along because they kind of disagree. You're wrong! Okay, yeah, that's way more compelling than having, like, evil characters who are motivated by their own selfish desires, who end up working with the good guys for mutual benefit, but ultimately can't fully be trusted. But a charming rogue, forget it, can't have it. Liliana's just a good girl now. It's so boring. And it doesn't feel genuine. Just at War of the Spark, they decided that Liliana was like, nah, she's good now. What? Yeah, she was helping Bolus invade, but then, like, she watched a lady have a rock fall on her, and she went, oobly boobly boobly, I will defy you, Bolus, because I feel the plight of the people. Uh-huh. You sure do. Very believable. Very earned. Not empty corporate bullshit at all. Right? Whatever. Gerthil, you miss when characters had flaws and had to make choices they'd be ashamed of but had to be done. People don't want that. They don't want Urza style characters and stuff because like, he's the worst. He's the worst. You just don't see how bad he is. Did the bad things and all. Urza's the worst person in the room. You never want to be in a room with Urza. It's like, oh, idiots. Right? What are you going to do? Wes, I ain't wasting my time getting more than I need to, bro. You might need to do more. 1,000 is enough for my purposes because I'm good at what I do. I'm good at what I do. Of course, they'll never bring books back in fat packs. Too expensive, man. Definitely too expensive. Writing that long a story as well. You got to pay an author to write an entire novel? Nah. Give them short little whatever. Actually, I was complaining to Carly. I was like, yo, they keep doing this thing where they just mention crap that feels like it's completely irrelevant. Like when Kaito gives Nashi the little, here's this thing that will help you float up the tree with me. Also, you can press it another time to create a shield, or another time to drop out of the air. And I'm like, oh, maybe that'll be relevant. Tamio will attack and he'll use the shield. And Tamio does come up to him. And he doesn't ever activate the shield, and it doesn't become relevant. And turning it off doesn't become relevant. And him bringing it up, it's not relevant. It's not relevant. And it's not like it was like extra details that expanded the story. It just felt like there's been a bunch of times where I've read something. It's like the Phyrexians formed into a bunch of different Centurions and one Hound. And you're like, okay, and what's the purpose of the Hound? The Centurions stabbed Chandra with spears. Okay, and the Hound? So anyways, the spears, okay, and then Nissa's all like, yo, and Chandra's like, yo, so, but what's the Hound for? So anyways, they pull out the spears and continue. What's the Hound for? Anything? Like, there's just all this extra random stuff that's like, is there a purpose to this even being in here? And then I was just talking about it aloud to Carly, and Carly's like, word count. And I'm like, that's what this is. This is a school assignment. These stories are written like high school assignments that are given to a teacher that you know only spell checks your assignments and doesn't really care, right? Like I had a teacher in school the one science class. And the questions would be like, what's geothermal energy? This guy did not read the answers. I would rewrite the question as a statement. I would just be like, yo, what's geothermal energy? Energy that's geothermal. Check. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's what Wizards does with the lore. That's the deal. Not gonna lie, the actual spoken lines in Chandra Nissa Ren story, you visibly cringing, like, yeah, oh, like, Teferi is the most powerful ever. It'll totally, yeah, I feel you, man. Honestly, like, there's so much dialogue that I just hack out. The amount of Huatli's called the warrior poet. She gets referenced as warrior poet and poet innumerable times in this half-assed garbage writing, and you're just like, oh. What do you think, poet? What do you think, warrior poet? Hello, poet. Hello, warrior poet. Hello. Hi, poet. What do you think, poet? Great thinking, poet. Poet, warrior poet. Poet, warrior poet. Yeah, she's a warrior poet. I fucking get it. This writing is shit. It's shit. And it's long and it's tedious. Oh, I gotta stand up. My back hurts. What did they do to Sarkin? Who knows? They'll dig him out whenever they feel like it, man. They just do whatever with Planeswalkers. Look what they did with Luca. Oh, man. Oh, God. Don't ever get old, guys. Yeah, Brent, exactly. You've got it. You're doing it perfectly, bro. Perfectly. Oh. Pre-2012. Yeah, I don't know exactly when it was, Reaper, but I feel you, bro. There's a certain point where it all fell apart. It's just like, they just stopped caring, man. I think what happened was, here's what I think happened. They got tired of paying for it. And they said, we're going to sell these books individually. And then they released, like, the not very good stories about Jace and Chandra individually that didn't do very well. And then they went, well, people don't want to pay for it, so we'll just ditch it. So yeah, Wizards didn't want to spend the money, which is stupid. It's so dumb. It's like, bro, people love, like, rich, deep worlds, all that stuff. You're stupid. You're dumb throwing this away. Like, it's annoying. I'm a big lore enthusiast. What are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? Oh, damn, man. They have an entire team working on just Phyrexian language. Whoever said that is probably talking out their ass, bro. Like, an entire team. They, like, I doubt they spent that much time on it. Especially considering, like, tons of cards with Phyrexian language come out with typos and stuff on them, so... I mean, Frigo, the dude who unravels Phyrexian, he feels like he puts in way more effort, but what do I know? Admittedly, I'm biased to think that Wizards of the Coast does a lazy slapdash job, and because I'm in pain right now, it makes me more fucking cynical as well. So there is that. Wes, is this in response to Lore podcast announcement? Is it complete garbage? Honestly, I responded to the Lore podcast announcement with positive, like I made a positive announcement about it on a video because I think it's a really positive development. It shows that they're willing to start spending more money on it. I have no idea how good it is. I've heard that it's a summary. I'm not going to go and listen to Wizards of the Coast employees summarize a story that I have to read myself. I'm not, why? No. I'm not going to subject myself to that because it feels like an absolute waste of time. I'm going to read the story anyways and tell it myself on Fantasy Geographic. So it's just like, it's good that the company went and like brought the podcast back and did one for the Old Brothers War and something else as well. But the problem I'm going to have with this is the podcast is going to tell like the revisionist history where Kayla's held up like a paragon, like Kayla's like a good person when she was not. You know what I mean? She did some not great stuff, but she's held up as if she's perfect. They change that Urza's mother was actually a piece of garbage. So I'm not interested in that shit. I'm not interested in Wizards' lies to fit their current political agenda. So this whole like all ladies are perfect kind of vibe that they're doing, it ruins their old storytelling. I haven't bothered to go and listen. Like, why? Why bother? You know? But I'm sure there's a ton of people who are going to enjoy it just fine because they don't care. Like, if you're somebody who doesn't know the original lore and you don't care as much as I do, you're not going to care that they changed it, and that's fine. I'm not out here going, nobody should have, just, who cares? Like, honestly, that's the new version. Fine, whatever. It's a lesser for it. You have made a lesser new version. Congratulations. But it aligns with the corporate philosophies that you have that you don't actually believe, but you espouse in an attempt to get money and isn't working. So whatever. That's what that turns into. So I don't care about, like, the written version's good enough for me. I just need a version where I can go and get the details, remove the awful, like, do you think that Wizards of the Coast employees are going to remove all the awful stuff for you? No. Probably not. So. Wes, where do you read the lore? The lore they put out now goes up on the website. So they actually put it up on the main daily MTG website. And it's released over the course of 5 days in 2 installments a day. I've been putting out videos, 1 video a day, because the pace is too breakneck otherwise. And it's hard to keep up even with just 1 a day on top of my regular schedule of other stuff too. And then the older lore, where do I see the older lore? I have all the books. I have a bunch of magazines and stuff, and I've actually found ancient scraps of websites that like Wizards used to have that don't exist anymore that have bits of lore that even I didn't know. So I have a number of different sources that I pull lore from. But yeah, they don't put in the same level of effort anywhere near it, which is really ultimately disappointing for someone as into lore as me. And old novel readings? No, that goes too close into that's where we move into realms where Wizards might have to move. Like, if you do straight up audiobooks of their books, then like they do their own ebooks and stuff, and like you're not allowed under their fan content policy, the whole we're not going to come and send our lawyers after you, you're not allowed to make verbatim copies of their stuff. That's verbatim copies. So I've summarized entire books. I've done the entire Brothers War novel, the entire Timelines novel, and Time Streams novel. And slowly but surely, I will make content videos for all Magic lore, unless, I just eventually get tired of Magic and wander on to something else. But considering that I've been in the game for like 30 years, it doesn't seem likely. Somebody tried to do one of those gotcha moments, but it was one of like the laziest gotcha moments where they came by and like, 6 months ago you made a video saying Magic's failing. Why are you here right now playing it? And I'm like, is this supposed to be like some caught you moment, you moron? Like, bro, yeah, I did. I said the game was in a bad place, and maybe I'm here playing it because I like the game. We're enjoying. Like, do you think that? Yeah, it got me. Whoa, bro. Whoa. No, I still stand by everything I did, and you're a fucking idiot. So go fuck your mother, dumb, and make somebody even less useful than you. It's silly. It's people dumbasses, man. They be dumb. Beano, yep. Librarities is a useful resource with some really funky stuff. Definitely, man. Definitely. I know some people who know, like, a bunch of ancient stuff about magic. As we keep progressing, I keep making more and more contacts with different people who know different things. And, it's pretty cool, man. There's a ton to know about this game and a ton to learn. I'm always learning new stuff and forgetting things. It's funny watching people go, you call yourself a magic historian, you don't know this? And it's like, yeah, it's like, okay. Just because I'm a historian doesn't mean I know everything, bro. I can't store it all up here. I cooked my brain with drugs. What do you want from me? They let you call yourself anything on the internet so I can use that name and know nothing. Although I know a fair bit. I would love a return to like old school, deeper lore telling. Like the Eldraine set got a good chunk of lore. Callaway, did somebody anger me today? No, not really. I mean, I didn't get as much sleep as I'd like today, but overall, I've been pretty even keeled. So, just people leaving some. Yeah, every day, there's dumbass comments and people being rude to me. Like, literally every day. And it's just something that I deal with regularly. So, it is what it is, bro. I like complaining about them because it feels good. You know? It's like, whatever. But ultimately, it's no big deal. Nobody's really got me riled up. There's just low-level silliness. A lot of it. I mean, over time, the stuff has bothered me less and less anyhow. Because it's just people... What are you going to do? People are going to act up and be goofy. Reaper, the haters bring views. I mean, I'll take that as a silver lining, but legit, bro, I'm the spiteful kind of dude who, if I could, like, if I had the ability to, like, straight up, when I ban people to stop them from being able to act, like, IP ban them from watching my content, I would. I'd rather, out of spite, deny them the entertainment than get ahead myself. I'd rather them get less joy in life than me get further ahead from that. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally, there are a bunch of people who I would just be like, nah, you can't even watch my stuff anymore. But YouTube doesn't give you that option, which is probably good, because it wouldn't be the greatest, I guess, for your channel overall, maybe. I don't know, but I don't care. My decisions aren't guided by the biggest numbers. They're guided by a whole bunch of other dumbass notions. What up, Kodak? How you doing, buddy? Eldraine didn't have the Walker problem. Nah, I don't think so. I disagree. Eldraine was good. We had the Walkers, but we were dealing with a self-contained problem on the world. You had the great hunt of the elves. You had the king being turned into a deer and them hunting them down. All of that, the whole resurrection with the witch's hex, and it developed a whole shitload of flavor for Eldraine. We went on an adventure where we followed compelling characters. Garruk's curse was removed, and ultimately, we got to view a whole bunch of different parts of Eldraine in doing so, both multiple human settlements and the wilds themselves. The Eldraine story was a success as far as magic stories go, and it's the only success in recent times. Like, after I read it, I was just like, okay, this works. This works. There are some questionable moments, but overall, if this is what Magic delivers on a regular basis, I'd be absolutely fine with it. The Eldraine story delivered what I think Magic stories should deliver. They give you the fun presence of some planeswalkers. They let you see the world, introduce you to some characters in the world, all that stuff. Like, Eldraine was good enough that I was genuinely disappointed that Eldraine 2 was scrapped in favor of Ikoria, the Godzilla tie-in. So, that's what happened. Ikoria was supposed to come later down the production line. It was only like a name at that point. And so they just slapped Ikoria's name onto this new world and went, okay, this is Ikoria, reuse a bunch of the art and concepts that we're going to use for Eldraine 2 instead for this. And it's like, oh, all right. And then we got that mess and companions and a bunch of garbage. But yeah, Throne of Eldraine was great overall. Like, that set was a lot of fun. Yeah, it did have problem cards like Oko for sure. Like, they went ham on the power level for standard, but overall, flavor-wise, lore-wise, all that goodness. The Eldraine delivered. But nothing has since on that level. Everything else is like these little paragraphs that are stretched out with really empty conversations, and the shifting of characters, like Chandra just being a super pouty kid, feeling like Nashi being like a 7-year-old. All of it, man. All of it. It's craziness. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they didn't make enough money, I guess. Ikoria was so badly written that they couldn't really expect that to do much anyways. I was so angry about how badly it was written that I returned the book, basically. I had it refunded because I was outraged at how terrible it was. I was like, this is terrible. It doesn't even match the set. It's slapped together. So I was like, no. I paid for the Throne of Eldraine book, and I did not. I wasn't trying to get my money back for that because I felt like it was, yeah, but no. That was a ripoff. The Ikoria was a ripoff. It wasn't even the story of the set. It was just some nonsense. It was, what the hell? Gertrude, you think the stories are being written by people who never grew up or had to actually struggle and make hard choices in life, aside from a coffee flavor I have in the morning? I mean, it really does feel like it's crazy. It feels so shallow, right? It feels so shallow. Oh, well, you know what, man? My back is bothering me. I ain't feeling great. So I'm going to dip out because otherwise I'm just going to whine about my back and not have a good time. So thanks for coming and hanging out. I wanted to stay longer, but I ain't doing well. So I'm going to dip out. Thanks for being here. I'm falling into the waters.